Reveal video. This time it's the turn of the Henschel HS-123. I did this aircraft up in Polish campaign colours, using the decals direct from the Airfix kit. But I think the decals on this kit were actually supposed to be for an Eastern Front aircraft. But the Eastern Front aircraft were actually painted in slightly different colours. They were painted in grey and green camo splinter pattern, and the Polish campaign aircraft are painted in dark green and medium green, with the matte 25 underside, like as you can see here. The kit itself actually is it can be a bit of a mare if you don't sort of be very careful about how you put the forward engine assembly into place, because the engine assembly fits into the engine cowling in a funny sort of way, and the way it assembles it's quite tricky. But I did manage to end up with a propeller that does freely spin around quite nicely, but it doesn't spin around as freely as you would like to blow it away and everything. But the kit itself, it's quite an accurate model. In actual fact, the pro builders like the Airfix model of the HS-123. They actually think it's quite a nice overall finish, and it's quite an accurate kit. The interior isn't fantastically detailed, but to be honest with you, you won't see an awful lot through that pilot's shoulders anyway, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But the kit is quite detailed. And I think the overall finish I got with this model is quite nice. It's not brilliant, but I always find German aircraft a little bit tricky to get the actual colour scheme correct and everything. It's a shame you can't get swash stickers on these to make them look a bit more realistic, but obviously with the law the way it is, you can't get them. You have to get them special order. But this is basically how the kit comes out in the box. Straight out the box, decals straight on, everything. I did have an issue with the rear yellow flash band because it just disintegrated. Obviously the kit was quite old. I think this model was something in the region of 30 years old, and that actual decal was the only decal that fell to bits. The rest of them went on quite nicely, but that one didn't seem to want to wrap around the fuselage at all, and it just dropped to bits as soon as I tried to wrap it around. So I painted the rear band, and I think the effect was alright. The HS-123 is one of those biplanes which, if you are not used to building biplanes, it's not a bad option to start with, because you can go bananas and actually rig it the way the real aircraft was rigged. But to be honest with you, the only rigging on the HS-123 was in between the interplane struts directly above the fuselage there. That it actually had, I think it was 4 wires, one from each strut base to each corner of the strut, upper struts supporting the upper wing. The rest of the aircraft had no bracing whatsoever. It was quite a rigid modern design for a biplane. So anyway, that's the Airfix kit of the HS-123. Quite pleased with this one. It was a fun build, even though it had issues with the front engine assembly, but it was a fun build. It fits together really nicely. The wings jig absolutely spot on, no issues whatsoever. With a lot of biplane kits, you sometimes get issues where the top wing has to be manipulated into the correct shape and the correct jigged into the correct alignment. This kit, there's no issues with that whatsoever. You basically put the central wing supports above the fuselage decking into place in a similar way that you do with the Matchbox Fury, and then the interplane struts are quite thick and rigid, and basically you just put everything into place and glue it into place whilst everything's drying, and it just dries fantastically. It's one of the easiest biplane kits I've ever built. Anyway, so that's the Airfix HS-123. I'm quite pleased with the result on this. I hope this video has been of some use, and I hope it's been of some entertainment to you. I hope all your modelling projects have been going fantastic and smooth and everything just the way you want. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye for now.